Hi everyone. So today we'll see how to deploy a Docker image that is present in ECR. So we'll use today ECS, Elastic Container Services, and we'll deploy the Docker images into that ECS service using the ECS service. So let's start. So before that, let me show you the Docker image that is available in ECR. So this is the repository that we have created, and it has a image having a tag that is latest. So we will deploy this image into ECS using the ECS service. So let's get started. The first thing that we need to do is we need to create a cluster. So let's create a cluster in ECS. So let me give it a name, like maybe this one, demo Java app cluster. That looks fine. Okay, yeah, it looks fine. So next is networking. So this is the VPC, the network that we need to create where our cluster will be running, and this is default. With free tier you will get this default VPC. Next is the subnet. This is the network that runs inside the VPC. So this is also default. Let us select the default one. Okay, so we'll go with Firegate. Firegate is a serverless service that is provided by ECS. We're not using EC2 instance this time. We'll do it next time. So let it be selected as it is. Monitoring options, you can select different monitoring options. For now we are not going to select anything. We will go with the default setting. And tags, also we are not going to add anything else. We'll see it later on with the next videos. Let's create a cluster. Okay, so it's creating a cluster named as demo Java cluster. So let it be created. Fine, so our cluster is ready. So it's showing that no task is running on the cluster. Fine, we'll go inside the cluster and see the details that we have given. So currently there is no service that is running, there is no task that is running, and nothing else. So the next step is we have to create a task definition. So basically what happened in cluster, we have to create a task and we have to run the task, maybe as a service or maybe as a task. So let's create a task definition. So here, create a new task definition. Let me give it a name, Java app task definition. Fine. So here it's asking for the image URL. So let me give it a name, Java image, and we will copy the URI of the image that we have uploaded into ECR. I have copied it, pasted. This is the part where you need to provide the port that we will access the public URL using these ports. So by default it's providing 80. Let me add one more port, that is 8080, and it will be a HTTP. We can add more ports like HTTP, HTTP2 and other protocols. So I have added 8080. These things are optional and let it be with the default settings. Let me click next. So as I said, we will deploy this image using AWS Firegate. We will have a separate session for Firegate and what is EC2, what is the difference between Firegate and EC2. So for now we will use Firegate as a deployment service. And the operating system that I have selected is Linux. These all are default settings. I'm not doing any changes to the default things for now. Then for role, you can create a new IAM console role I have already created. Let me show you that. Basically, the role should have the permissions, should have the permissions to execute, run the service. So I have created ECS task execution role. If you select, you can see what are the permissions have been given. I have given administrator access. I have given Amazon ECS task execution role policy. If you want to create a new one, you can just create a new role with those permissions. So what permission that you need for ECS, that is Amazon ECS task execution role policy. This is the one that you need to run your ECS service. So I have already created a role. So let me go back. Selected that role only. Yeah. Okay. Let me select that role. This is fine. All these settings will be as it is. Let me not use any log collection for now, and I'll go next. So this is the review part. The review is done. Let me create. Okay. So the task definition is now created. We can now go back to the cluster. Yeah. So here the task definition is created, cluster is created. Now the next thing is to create a service. That's it. Create. I'll select the launch type as Fargate. So in launch type, I can have multiple options like EC2, external, and Fargate. For now, we'll select Fargate. This is default, the latest version that will be taking up. Okay. So here it is giving two different options like launch a group of tasks handling a long running computing that works as a web application, or maybe a task that runs at and terminates. So let us go with task. So the family, that is Java. This is belongs to the task definition. We have already created the task definition. This is that only. This is taking the latest one, the latest build. So in networking, that we need to see what are the VPC and subnets that is being used. This is the default one that is provided with free tier, and this is most important, like the security groups. So if you want to create a security group where you will provide the access of different ports and where and how the ports will be like open and who can access it, that you can create a new port, new security group. I have already created one. Here what you can do, if you are going to create a new one, you can select maybe HTTPS 443 source anywhere. You can add more, maybe for http 80 from anywhere, like that. You can select a group custom or anywhere. So I have already created a group that is having http anywhere. So let me use that one. This one I have already created. Let me close this one. Use this one, Java security group, where I have given http and will be accessed from anywhere. Okay. Public IP is on. If you turn off this feature, then it will not have access for the public IP. So let me create the task. Okay. Let us go back to the cluster, refresh it. So it's showing that's pending. It will take some time. If you see, the task is being created, but the status is provisioning. So it will be active soon. Once it is active, we can access our application. So okay, it's running. Sorry, it's not active, it should be running status. It's running now. Let us go into that task. We'll have a public okay, public IP address. Let us go there. This would be my application URL. Okay, I hit 8080. Sorry, 8080. So it is loading up with the Tomcat homepage. Let me paste my application. So my Docker application is active and live. Okay, to ensure whether it is running or not, let me stop this. Let me stop this task. See, off, successfully stopped. Now if you go and reload it, it will throw some error. So it will not be able to load the URL because the server has already been stopped. Yeah, this is it. So this is it, guys. This is how we can use a Docker image that is present in your ECR, and we can use that image to deploy using ECS service with Firegate. So in next videos we'll go with EC2, and we'll see how we'll create an instance and we'll deploy our ECR image using ECS and EC2. Thank you, guys.